Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a little discussion.
Just a little one.
Unless you've been living under a rock or the Rock Johnson, you will know that everybody just saw E3, and goddamn, if you're a Halo fan, you're either really happy or really disappointed, and we're going to get into those sorts of thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And today, obviously, we've got the Alex, Jamie, and the biggest Halo hater here, me. So to add a bit of spice to this Halo-themed conversation, as someone who has had no faith in this Halo project since the beginning, I've been in the anti-Halo camp. So
this is the first time they've shown the game since the disastrous last E3.
Yeah.
Which feels like it was like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah,
it feels
really feel like
so
that long
recent.
ago, but how do we feel after what we've watched is the E3 showing with like a little bit of the cutscenes from the single player, and then the multiplayer reveal and the 12-minute special thing. That's all that's new, apart from some like articles on Waypoint with a couple more details here and there. But that's the general sort of sense. It's the first time we've seen multiplayer. I guess we should just go around on our general thoughts and feelings.
So, I'd like to kick it off with the campaign's easiest to talk about because you've got...
Okay, let's talk about campaign.
Yeah.
That's the shortest
they showed
one.
much less, yeah.
My instant vibe with that is that's the thing I'm most excited for.
Mm-hmm.
I think this new Cortana character, I like her design a lot. I think it's going to hit familiar notes that we used to with Halo and Cortana, but I think there's going to be a bit of freshness there because she seems like a very different personality to Cortana.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel of all the things you can see, I think that's the thing that gives me the most hope is the whole Cortana V2 and the Chief relationship.
I don't know how to feel about the campaign specifically because I don't know how to read their marketing and what they know. They obviously know what the story is behind the scenes. We don't. All we have to go off is their track record, and based off their track record, I have basically no faith in this game being what I want it to be. And I feel like I know just about the same amount about the game than I do before. There's a lot of room still for the game to be coming out. It did say holiday. It was weird it didn't have a release date when every other game in that showing had a release date. It's weird when they went to show, like, at the beginning of that story section, it shows the cutscene of Chief doing his thing, Halo 4ing through space or whatever. Right as it's about to go into the gameplay, it cuts to another cutscene. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily weird if they're, like, trying to hide important story bits or they're trying to be cagey about it. I just feel like they're hiding things that in a way that doesn't seem like it's out of confidence, it's out of fear. For every other previous Halo game, every single one, you had a better impression of what you're getting. I still don't understand how this like campaign works. I know this was like a multiplayer showing and there's still room to show off the campaign and actually what it is. Mm-hmm. They haven't said like the scope of it, like how long it is. They haven't shown, and this was probably the weirdest thing about the campaign side, was they didn't show gameplay of the campaign that was equivalent to that last E3 showing, which was what was mocked, was that brute close-up. I really thought it was going to like start on like a close-up of a brute or some shit, them like flexing their changes, make some way of highlighting it, instead of showing the campaign from like a fly-through. You can only see the enemies as like little dots in like the distance. It seemed like they were scared almost.
Yeah, I think you're totally right in feeling that, and I do hope they're being so cagey because they just
they're confident. They don't want to ruin it. Scared.
Yeah, but I'm almost of the opinion that they shouldn't have even shown any campaign.
Yeah, do one or the other, especially because if they just thrown in a line like, okay, we're cutting there because we don't want to spoil anything. Just something like that shows, you've got confidence, you know what you're doing, you're controlling the message, as opposed to half of the information that we got from these two videos combined is just a bunch of like really cagey, unconfirmed stuff.
New maps, new modes, new ways to customize your Spartan. launch is just the beginning. Now we're just going to be able to talk, interact more frequently, and that's just going to be great. That is the future of Halo Infinite multiplayer.
In the game, players can do the same thing on HaloWaypoint.com as well as the Halo Waypoint app. Coatings offer us a unique opportunity to craft some hyper-polished looks and let you express yourselves in ways you've never been able to before. It's very important to us that everyone understands exactly how they unlock customization content, and we have a variety of places where they can do that. First off is the Battle Pass.
A lot of our stuff is unlocked through playing the game and only through playing the game.
We feel like we've got a pretty good selection at launch and what's going to be there for our fans. And
make sure the game is ready for launch. And then
where half of it is you just interpreting around the lines of what they were saying through their PR bullshit.
Yeah, of which
I'm jaded as fuck at this point, I have to admit. But I think it's like fair enough considering the MCC, considering Halo 4, considering Halo 5. Yeah. It ain't Bungie making it. I mean, Chief looks good.
That is, his character model is way better, way more detailed than what they showed before. That right.
My thing has been, if this was the first time 343 was showing Halo, maybe I'd be like more into it, have more faith. But it's the fact is they're acting as if it's like in that VDoc thing where they're talking about the multiplayer. It's like, yeah, we're classic Halo. It's like ignoring the past 10 years. They've had the license for longer, and it's like now you're talking onto it, but it's frustrating from that sense. And it makes it come across as if it doesn't have any identity of its own. It's like Mega Bloks toys driving around like a Bungie era. I'm being really really but it was all that was going through my head because I just don't trust them. I don't trust their output, and especially when you see the gameplay. I love the idea of the equipment and the way it's implemented, but again, I don't trust it. The way they will do it and the cagey way they're saying we have a promising amount of features coming on day one. We're happy with the amount we have. That kind of phrasing is not what it used to be. Yeah. Every single Bungie game, every single one, increased the amount of content, added new modes. It was never a case of we'll sacrifice these couple things for this thing. Mm-hmm. And we don't they haven't talked about Forge and how that works, or Theater.
It doesn't.
And this is a game that's coming out on holiday.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, them talking about this seasonal stuff. I don't know how that is going to affect the campaign. Yeah, because they're saying this is going to be their platform, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't want a half-baked. To me, when you get a Halo game, you get a game. You don't get the start of a game. And the way they talked about this Zeta Halo, this is a small look at Zeta Halo, the most wide open level we've ever designed. And then that phrasing, it's so you have one level?
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking about.
On Zeta Halo?
In regards to gameplay, they've only ever shown one kind of biome. They've only shown...
this is exactly what I'm concerned about.
They've only shown, with the enemies... It's what, just the Covenant again? Is that it?
Yeah.
Is it a lack of they don't want to show anything else, or is it because they put so much effort into this that this is the big feature, this is the thing we care most about?
But through the way they are presenting it, it's not convincing me that it's out of confidence. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. And given their track record, there's no reason for us to be confident.
Yeah. Because the games industry, dude, No Man's Sky, we just had Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the marketing bollocks. And there's a hell of a... Let's just talk about the multiplayer thing. Because the cagey way they talk about it was so... They know what people are concerned about, clearly. And they're directly addressing that, but it's the details of that are important. That is the most important, reasoning. They're acting as if... they were talking about this new feature where you can customize your AI voice, as if it's this. It came from this we've got to empower the player in new ways. We've got to come up with new ways for people to customize and stuff, as if it's not because there's obviously going to be ways to buy them or something.
Yeah, it's obvious just going to be filler for Battle Pass because nowadays all of these game companies, they're putting in these small things because it adds filler to their paid for like Battle Pass.
Yeah, so it seems like more content when you've got to level 100 and then there's the big thing at the end, and you've had all these little things as opposed to just having good things.
Yeah,
but
they
there
didn't
being
talk
less of
about
it.
how like leveling works. They didn't actually show the Battle Pass. They didn't really show how any of the menus actually work. They showed like a few pictures of them and stuff. It just makes me think, how is this game coming out in like before the end of this year? No flighting either. Well, they talked about it. They've said, yeah, you can sign up for when and if it might be available at some point. It's not like this is the date.
Yeah, that's what I was certain they were going to do a beta announcement.
That's like, if you think back to Halo, what was the thing? Like in that era, it was the Halo betas. You buy Crackdown. People bought Crackdown
Halo 5 had a
for
beta.
Halo 3.
That's what's even weirder about it. Halo 5 had a beta a year before.
And like betas are important to like kind of patch and adjust the balancing for multiplayer so that when you launch, you've got that polished.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about mechanics in this VDoc, like the way equipment works now is you pick it up and instead of it auto-activating, you can hold on to it.
Yeah, so stuff like active camo and overshields.
Yeah, which potentially introduces new problems. But they don't do anything to explain why that would be the case.
The one thing to alleviate that for me was they show that someone's in a gunfight and the person they're shooting at tries to use an overshield. And because of the animation, he like gets out, can't shoot, gets killed because of it.
Sort of
and
BR kind of balancing.
Yeah, so you need to actually like think about doing it before you get into a brawl. So that could be interesting.
One thing that's noticeable, because of all the gameplay we've seen, I think that multiplayer was the most consistent, just actual showing gameplay in action type thing.
Totally.
And the first thing I noticed was it seemed slower, like there's more weight. Like the way the animations are and the way people are moving,
they
it
actually
seemed
look like Spartans. That helps a hell of a lot.
I seem to get more of like an old Halo 3 vibe than Halo 5 and 4. Like that's a positive. I think that looks much better, but I've got a problem. The UI looks kind of terrible. Because the whole font they have, the whole UI just...
We're just kind of on their identity thing. They're so obsessed with Halo Reach specifically and that aesthetic, and their own weapons, I think, are really fucking boring.
Yeah.
They've made some okay like Covenant ones, I guess, but like the UNSC ones, they're so goddamn generic to me.
They're just gun. They're just design a gun.
With the sounds and everything, they're like really uncreative. And I know this is a lot of like assumptions without jumping in and playing it, because that is the ultimate test, is playing it for yourself. Because even just seeing it running can be such a different experience with a video game. But
yeah.
I spoke about this on our group chat that I'm really worried the way that the battle pass and the leveling is, because to me, Halo it's like you play. There's no fuck this battle pass stuff. It's just you level up and you get all this stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know how the battle pass is still
Halo
skins.
3 level doesn't mean shit to me in Halo 3. I don't care what your ranked level is. None of that.
Well, there are a lot of people that really love the Halo ranking system.
Yeah, ranking is cool for people that are into that. But I'm all about the casual like big team, and then there's the tying that into armor customization. Like I don't really care what your armor is, I just want to have fun with this sandbox.
I do care what the other armors are in a free-to-play game that might be like Apex Legends.
The one thing about that which we instantly noticed, because I looked at you when we watched it, is the armor that looks like a samurai. That's going.
Which is what
Halo
everyone is talking about and everyone loves.
I think that's going the Halo 5 way and the Master Chief Collection way, where things don't fit.
We're not thinking a year down the line like how insane these designs might get.
We've talked about this a lot, but Apex, our biggest critique of that is you've got these ridiculous skins that don't fit in the world, the Titanfall world.
Yeah, and the whole reason like the Reach like customization was cool is because it felt like it was coming from the same place, all the Spartans because
you had like in Reach you had all the like variants of helmets, and they all had their specific role in the lore of like different units, different type of Spartans. But when you've got samurai stuff and like demon stuff, like
samurai I can forgive because of like Hayabusa.
Samurai, but again it's like Halo 3's thing. That was Halo 3's thing.
But it's like once you start it, people are always going to want more, so you have to push the boundaries more.
Well, it's a thing of it's a battle pass thing. They're going to want to motivate people to buy it. How do you motivate people to buy it? Is to show other people using that rare.
They said they use language like you can unlock armor through different paths, and you can only get it from certain paths. Does that not imply that one of the paths is that you can buy skins?
Well, they said that they're never going to allow.
Yeah, they said they're exclusive. Like the skins are exclusive to their path, but surely that means there's going to be a bunch of paid exclusive.
Oh right.
I took it as they're saying. Yeah, they said that if there's something in a pass, you can only get it through working the pass, and you can't just shortcut.
And it's not time gated, which I like.
Yeah,
as well.
I think.
But also, I don't know how that's going to work with the battle pass system. I think for that system to work, it has to be timed.
Yeah,
because
what's the incentive?
What's the incentive to finish it? Normally, in a battle pass, you get the currency to buy the next battle pass
through the battle pass.
So you're incentivized to finish it within the time frame.
Because without
that, it means surely they're not going to have that currency. So you're not going to be able to buy one and then get every single one afterwards for free.
That's how they hook you. If you love Apex and you buy Season 1, if you keep playing it, you can get till Season 9 of content for free for the same price as one. And if they're not going to make it timed, why even have the Battle Pass system? Just have a conventional unlocking armor system like all the other Halos.
It's a free-to-play game, though.
And they have to monetize if it's free-to-play.
So it's modeled after something, and it appears that they're going for Apex with the way... It's not red versus blue anymore, everyone, because it's free to play and they have to have some paid system for skins and customization.
Like, doesn't Master Chief Collection have this item store in the game where
they were clearly using the MCC to kind of figure out the way they were going to implement it into Infinite. But if it's anything like that, including the contents, the presentation of it, like...
Yeah, I'm not going to be interested in getting the battle passes if they're anything like the MCC ones.
I think one of the things that put me off like just playing MCC, because I love playing it with you guys because it's that type of game. It's a party game.
Yeah.
But it's just like this battle pass stuff I couldn't care like less about. It's just pointless.
Yeah, because Halo is not about that to me. It's about just jumping in, playing a couple big teams, and having these dynamic moments sort of happen.
It speaks through gameplay, and that's it. You have fun through gameplay, not all this.
Yeah, I remember what I was going to say now. The character outline thing, with if everyone has their own custom armor that's different colors because you're customizing all of it. Yeah, they've got to solve the solution of not every game is free for all, so you can't have your own colors. So you got to group people into teams.
Yeah,
and if you can't do that with their armor color, you got to do it with the
outline thing. Could be fine. To me, because it works in other games. It works in Titanfall 2.
I think it shows their priority, though, of where the design is going.
Yeah, but it's also kind of something I always wanted from Halo. I didn't like that I could customize my Spartan, make him green or something, and you never see it. You only get the stripe.
Yeah, no, I can see the positives to that one. Because the customization seems like the best thing. I just do not trust Microsoft to not fucking ruin it. See what they did to Gears 5 when the way that game worked and the way you unlock stuff is one of the fucking worst implementations of these kind of like, the games industry is doing this at the moment and let's do our version. Like, holy fuck, was it terrible.
That's one of the reasons I actually stopped playing Gears. Is it's like the way you level for you play Gears for Horde, and the way the leveling in that for
you had to grind to get like new skins. You had to grind like 2 hours to unlock it was fucking terrible. Apples and oranges, obviously they have a lot more going into Halo. It's free to play. Probably way bigger budget too. But
what about the actual gameplay though?
It looks good. It looks like it's a step in the right direction, but it's hard to say until we actually...
Yeah, I need to feel it.
There's certain stuff I didn't like seeing, because from the gameplay we saw back when, I don't remember like the assault rifle ADS being a thing.
Yeah.
They didn't show that, and they've sort of snuck it in now.
Yeah.
And that makes me worry.
I think...
the more they show of it, the more it looks like the gameplay of Halo 5, but with the aesthetic of Halo Infinite.
And like of all the things, it's just like the assault rifle is supposed to be like you just spam it, hip fire, and that's its advantage, but then it's
And
disadvantage
again,
to
isn't
Wayne.
it
That's
like the Reach assault rifle?
Yeah.
What is their
Yeah, it
obsession
looks
with
like the Reach assault rifle, but it plays like the 5 assault rifle.
I don't know why you'd model your new Halo after the one that caused the rift that like ruined the franchise.
Yeah,
It's
no,
weird.
And stuff like they changed the shotgun. I know we're deviating a bit from gameplay, but like
No,
the
just
new
go over.
shotgun looks fucking shit.
Yeah, the pit butt or whatever.
Yeah, the dick suck or whatever.
It just
This is what I
looks
mean about
really
their
bad.
versions. Like this, why would you change the Halo shotgun?
Well, yeah, it's like in Halo 5, they just had to change the rocket launcher. It wasn't realistic
yeah.
enough. They had to make it like a magazine
So
thing.
I don't
Awful.
get, like, in every game, every first-person shooter, the shotgun is always the most satisfying. It's the most heavy. It's bang, and the sound is incredible. Modern Warfare does it really well.
Mhm.
Like, this looks like the fucking weakest, like, plastic toy gun
and
ever.
the way he just sort of like when you shoot someone in Halo 3, it's that bang, fucking huge bang, and then pump.
Yeah.
You
and-
smash armor once, smash it again, they're dead.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But when you're
Super fun.
spamming a shotgun
Yeah,
constantly, it takes out that heaviness that.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
clearly not the Halo shotgun, and it makes me wonder if they're like replacing a bunch of guns. Like, just add this shit pistol, add this shit shotgun, and then in a like pack.
Oh, like they did with
well, not
Halo
a pack.
5.
In a battle pass later
Like,
on,
Yeah.
you can
Let's
get a
add
skin for the original one. So that could be an Insidious thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
was kind of expecting this E3 to be the one where they're like, okay, let's just chill and set like what this game is or whatever, and I don't feel that really. I have so many questions, and they did a terrible job answering them. To me, for what I'm looking for as a long-time Halo fan, I don't trust their PR bullshit. I watched the VDocs for 4 and 5. I know the bullshit they came out with, that like half of it is lies. I can see Joseph Staten reading the script as he opens it. I mean, you know, it's hard not to get cynical sometimes when you're dealing with like Microsoft, especially in this franchise. I'm sour about it.
That being said, though, I am excited myself. I've sort of absorbed some of your negative energy on the Halo thing, but I'm definitely more positive on it than you. And weirdly enough, from this stuff they showed, I'm more excited for the multiplayer than I am the single player.
I think I am too, because the single player has the Destiny problem where it's like, what is this?
Yeah, totally.
fuck
And the
is
fact
this?
that they're being all cagey about the single player, it's like, if you don't have faith, then there's no point in me having faith.
I feel like if they'd scheduled like a campaign thing that was as long as that multiplayer one, I'd have more confidence and feel like they were.
Yeah.
I'm the complete opposite. I think from what I've seen with the battle pass, the leveling,
Or you haven't seen.
what I haven't seen, but what we've been led on to believe is that Halo is trying to compete with games I already play. You know, Apex, COD. Is it going to have the systems that's going to make me want to play it every week? No, I don't get the vibe that it will.
Depends if they get that sandbox thing.
Yeah, and
right.
from what I've seen, the sandbox looks good. The way the equipment with the grapple, and then there's a thing that makes you like jump higher. You like look at the ground, and it's like a
The thing
push
that can
a shield
secure
sort of thing.
hype for me is Forge. I need to see Forge. I need to see what they're doing with Forge. To see what if they're actually because like with Reach they left out a lot of actual stuff that could have made it better. Like just do Forge but give it completely unrestricted everything. Let people make the craziest custom games.
Yes, what
let
everyone
people
wants.
go all in with these bots that they're like talking about. Just if that game wants to succeed, you need to have the best Forge ever.
But also the best big team.
Yeah.
Because there's ever since Halo 3, there's just been a gap in the market for the same thing. And
because they kept redesigning the wheel again and again.
Yeah, they made it a fucking square for some time. It's like, no, just
Yes, it's going to be Dominion this time. It's going to be Warzone this time.
Yeah. It's like, shit, people don't want that. People played Halo 3 back in the day because, surprise, surprise, it was fucking good. Like, that shit was fun as fuck. So just
Well, yeah, things that on
use
that
it.
note that do have me more interested are like that new Warthog that's specifically just like a troop carrier. You can put equipment on
Like,
the back. That's the stuff that's like, oh, that's really sandboxy. I can imagine that in the single player having utility.
Yeah, I could, that's something that makes me excited for the single player. The utility.
I just feel like it seems like such a good idea. Why would you not want to show off the systems in some way, or how it looks in action, how it works a bit? They tried the year before, and it seems like that. Yeah,
they. I wonder if they're scared because they don't want to be made fun of again. It's close to release.
I do like that you mentioned the Warthog. I think they've actually made it more unique in its own thing, because it's like an armored one. You can tell it's like heavier. It's like reinforced.
It's a cool idea.
And I think that's is improving on the formula that's been there since Halo 3. I think that's the right thing to do, is to make it its own thing that's good.
Yeah, I was disappointed to see the Wasp and not the Falcon. The Wasp's like the little flying.
I saw it as a Hornet
from 5. Yeah,
I thought it was a Hornet when I saw it, but
no, it's a
I'm
Wasp.
just not used to the Halo.
Because Hornet's cool because it is, you can carry people on it. It's got 3 spaces where only one can be on the Wasp.
Pilot and 2 seats.
Yeah.
Chopper's back as well. Hype.
That I'm very hyped about. The Chopper's probably the best, most fun Halo vehicle, excluding the Warthog.
Yeah, it's just a perfect sandbox element.
Because it had its place in the balancing and the sandbox, was that, you could take the Warthog, but if you have a chopper, you just wham into people and boom. That's like its
and
whole
it was
role.
nicely balanced too, because it had that physics kind of gun where its shots were like such heavy.
Yeah, if you managed to get a
projectiles.
Warthog off balance, you could just keep it flipping.
Yeah,
and
and you could do the same
you.
for other choppers and ghosts and stuff.
Yeah,
It's just a really unique vehicle because it tilted, so you could tell it's tilting when you're turning. Because you don't just turn around; you have to kind of tilt around.
Yeah, I don't know. Am I expecting too much? Am I jaded? What's my problem?
But
I was really expecting for them to say like the flighting date or something. Make that more of a highlight. I don't know.
You've been out of all of this, I've been the most jaded, because all the time it's like whenever then Halo's news, I'm like, you've got to give up on it. You've just got to walk away, because that's how jaded I am, because I don't trust any of it.
Yeah, I was more aligned with James. I think since Halo 4, I didn't know I didn't like Halo 4, so I was like supposed to like it, and I was younger and shit. But like I didn't have hype for Halo 5. You really got into like the podcast thing and all that stuff. Like, you were getting into that hype train, and that thing just stopped when the game came out. Like trash game, and you realised it within hours.
Well, that's another thing.
So I never had that moment, So it's easier for me for 343 to win me over than it will be.
Yeah, I think the story of Halo 5 is so bad.
We did so bad.
And it writes them into such a corner that they have such a fucking challenge. Because if you notice, each like clip they've shown from the campaign is like there's a huge gap. There's like a massive gap of stuff where we don't know what's happened.
Yeah.
And it's like the only way they can build intrigue.
Yeah, it's like because obviously they alluded to that with this new Cortana character when there was like, this is what Cortana was supposed to do, and like, well, I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Horrible thought. What if the reason they're like hiding a bunch of shit is because like the Forerunners are like a back and they're like one of the enemies or something?
I find that highly unlikely.
Yeah,
that would make it too.
How are they gonna like go back to the Cortana rampant thing with the Guardians? Yeah. It's so fucking bad. Yeah, that was the story of like 4 and 5.
I know. Yeah. Let's not think about it. You see, that's another reason I'm more excited for multiplayer, because Halo 4 is like a bad soap opera. Halo 5 is just a bad anything. Yeah, it's just a shit thing. Halo Infinite, like, I know they've got Staten back, but he wouldn't have written the game. He's only been here for the last year. They can't fix that much.
Yeah, he's not on narrative, I don't think.
No.
He's like creative director or whatever.
Do we know if this is like supposed to wrap up that trilogy?
No, this is the start of a new 10-year Destiny plan.
So
it's a platform for new... Dude, I guess that's another part of it too, is the Destiny jaded thing, and just hearing all this PR shit again and again. And you don't know the truth till the game comes out. Like you don't know what you're actually dealing with until it's actually out.
Yeah.
That's how fucked this industry is. Like, there's so many variables and they lie so much.
I think this is a game that when it does launch, I'm probably not going to download it till I know, in fact, till everyone's saying the same type of
Well,
thing.
It's free to play though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So you might
I'm
as
like,
well.
I guess I could put it this way. If this was a game you had to pre-order, I'd be like, I'm not pre-ordering this.
Yeah, same.
But the fact that it's like on Game Pass and it's free to play, it's like, yeah, I feel like not convinced, but I mean, what's the like risk on me?
Yeah, exactly. I think that could be a really smart thing. If the game
as long
comes
as it
out,
delivers, yeah.
Yeah, and it does deliver. If it does deliver, like that's like double win. It's Halo's back, and I lost nothing to get into Halo being
See,
good.
do you not think that's quite a good marketing thing? Because it's just like you're kind of taking away the risk of a game launch because.
Well, yeah, because we were saying.
Yeah,
I was talking with you saying about this lack of confidence thing, and you said that the fact it is free to play is a mark of confidence, but it's all this contradicting messaging because I've not putting the date is so odd to me. What does that mean?
You see, I wonder if because the multiplayer is free to play, they don't have to worry about the campaign as much. If the multiplayer is what the majority of people are going to absorb,
are they trying to soften the campaign blow?
Yeah, maybe. Because if the multiplayer is good enough, then a bunch of people will never play the campaign.
Yeah,
because that is just the.
Why would you pay money to?
Yeah.
When you've got plenty of Halo right
it's
here.
It's possible it will be the inverse of Destiny, where like the PvP's trash and no one cares about it.
Yeah.
Well, generally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the inverse of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Wild speculation,
But what other games on the horizon that it's going to have to compete against? What games do we know that's
Battlefield, COD. What other big shooters are coming out in that time? Is Horizon Zero Dawn coming out around that time?
I thought that was like next year.
Yeah, that might be next year. Yeah, you're right.
No, next year is going to be the good year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hope Halo's good.
I hope it's good.
I just have no faith.
I'm just going to stay jaded until the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm not following news. I'm not looking up stuff. When you guys tell me that it's good, that's when I'll jump on and play it.
It's just, I just 343 as a studio I have no faith in, and I just feel like they don't have a strong vision or identity. Maybe this game will turn around, but we'll see.
I'm just so tired of saying it may be shit at release, but maybe
I'm done with saying
down a year or
so.
so.
Yeah,
yes.
I think that's a safe bet. In 1 or 2 years, this game will probably be good.
Yeah, the question is, will it be good?
I don't
this
believe
year?
they're going to release it content rich in a way that we're going to be happy with if it is coming out this holiday.
They're constantly reinforcing it's going to be ready for launch. It's going to be.
There's a couple options, I guess, of what it means. Either they don't want to put an exact date on it yet because they want to be able to just bring it all home on that one date, or are they thinking about releasing these two things separately?
I think
it would make sense.
It would, but I think it would.
Like, what is on an Halo Infinite disc that's in a GameStop? Is it just the campaign?
I don't know. Will it be 2 different downloads?
Yeah.
There's plenty we don't know. And
But I think that would... I see that as a negative. Like, if you buy a game and it's just like you're getting 2 different things at different times or something like that, I'd say that I would be like unsatisfied with that. I'd be disappointed.
Part of the reason I'm so trepidatious too is considering the context. The game's already been delayed. I'm sure development during the last 2 years has just been... Well, the last year has been just
pure hell.
Uncontrollable.
They did all look like they were crying. I noticed that. They all looked like immensely
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to...
Yeah. Especially when they're describing, like, the
battle pass.
Yeah. Like, if you just had sad music. Yeah. Oh, dear.
Because I imagine, like, worst case scenario behind the scenes, like, okay, we've got a battle pass, we don't know what it looks like or what's in it yet, but, like, there is one, right? Just describe that it's in the game. Yeah. With the gun pointing out. Now,
if in the long run we get all these stupid packs of all these armors that don't work in the Halo universe, I will probably just go off it. That's the biggest unappeal. I don't know what the word is.
Put off.
Yeah, that's the thing that puts me off most, is having these like ridiculous skins that just aren't
that
Halo.
being said, if the gameplay's good enough, still play Apex.
What was the last Microsoft exclusive that wasn't tarnished in some way by it being a Microsoft exclusive?
You're gonna have to go pretty far
Halo
back.
3.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of one more recent than that.
No, I can't.
Yeah, because their last 10 years of exclusives, they've just been fucking them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Halo 5 probably got it worst. That was like the worst era of games fuckery. With the pack shit.
Just awful.
That was that was two things that were in it. They were like, they had to say there are no random packs,
Mhm.
because that was obviously expected because of Halo 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a win anyway, because everything uses the battle pass.
Mm-hmm.
But saying that is pointless. I could have told you that.
Yeah, and they had some other cringe statement too. There's a lot of them. The words they choose were very interesting.
Now, is there any chance of more like gameplay reveals and stuff?
I feel
not
like there has to
reveals,
be.
but more.
I'm going into this
showcases.
conversation under the assumption that a lot of the fears I have are going to be addressed before the game comes out.
I could easily see within the next few months a Forge trailer, because if they're going to make it a big feature, obviously they're going to do a trailer.
Yeah, if each element has like its own trailer, they actually explain a little bit how it works. I just want to see like 15-30 seconds of campaign footage where they're like fighting enemies. Like what that looks like now. Because we're going to see it in a few months if you are going to release it. I mean,
do you know, I would be really disappointed as well if like the base game is campaign multiplayer and then it's like Forge mode, theater, firefight, whatever. It's all additional down the line. I think that's
if they're like, here's our roadmap for when Forge is coming.
I sucked out. Like, I just want to jump on
which is what they did with 5.
Yeah,
and it's like, I don't understand. They've had, because there's a good chance that will happen. But they've had how many years now?
Well, he almost kind of prepares you for it in the wording where he's like,
there's going to be plenty more down the line and all this stuff.
We're happy with the amount of content we're going to have on launch, stuff like this.
They're happy, but we won't be.
Yeah, because their version of happy is like Halo 5 on launch.
Yeah. Any more thoughts?
No, it's the onus is on them, I guess. Gamers seem happy.
But are you happy?
Yeah, let us know your thoughts.
Let us know down in the comments.
Chief?